Dr. Sella here, and in the completely evolving triple option offense, the reason why you would run midline triple and the reason why you would call it is when number one is taking the dive and number two is coming downhill to take the quarterback. The bottom line is this: as long as number one takes the dive and number two is coming downhill to take either the dive or the quarterback, that's when you want to run mid triple. It's when 1 and 2 blood stun. So when 1 and 2 come downhill, that's when you want to run mid triple. And the reason why is because there's better plays to run. And you'll get more yards per play with other concepts. So you want to call mid triple or inside veer, whatever, any type of triple option when one is taking the dive and two is coming downhill to take either a dive or a quarterback. That, as long as he doesn't take the pitch, that's when you want to call it. Because the whole point of running mid triple is to get the ball pitched. I had a Division I coach reinforce this to me earlier this year, and it's all verified by video. I mean, yeah, there's going to be times where the play before, one took the dive, two took the quarterback, and then the next play, one takes the dive and two jumps to the pitch. I mean, it's going to happen, but you want to call mid-triple against the blood stun. And the blood stun is when 1 and 2 come hard. They're going downhill hard, and they're not taking the pitch. One's taking the dive and two is not taking the pitch. That's when you want to run mid-triple. And the reason why is because there's better plays to run. The kick play, you want to run when one takes the dive and two's on the pitch. So one took the dive and two runs to the pitch. You want to run the ball through the void between number one and number two. Because now, whether you're in flex or heavy, the receiver, the heavy tackle, the third guy on the surface blocks down on number one and uses his momentum against them. And the B-back kicks out number two and uses his momentum against him. And then the quarterback runs in between those two players, which I've been saying for years is the most underrated place to go with the football in the entire offense. Is you got to have a way to run between number one and number two. I made that mistake when I was young and dumb 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's too important. You want to run kick in that situation. Now, can you run kick basically as a holistic concept, even if number one takes the quarterback? Well, sure. Because a lot of times, regardless what one does, you'll be okay. Because you just load number one when he's the quarterback player and you run between number one and number two. Because if one takes the quarterback, two generally takes the pitch. And you can't take the dive unless they gamed it, but that's hard to do. So, kick if number one on the dive and number two on the pitch. But like I said, you can use it holistically as well. I'm just saying, for the purpose of understanding when you call mid-triple, you run mid-triple to beat the blood stun. That's pretty much it. Now, you run the zone dive if number one's on the quarterback, which is totally different than the way Paul Johnson ran it, but it's run differently. Because what's happening is you're triple teaming the defensive tackle, and if number one plays for the quarterback, the void is right there. So the quarterback hands the ball to the B-back, he runs through the ball through the play side hip of the tackle through the end zone. Because now the A-back can get onto the second level, the receiver can get onto the second to the third level, and now you got yourself something. So you're running to the void. Now, if number one takes the dive, you're fine because the A-back picks him up, he'll block number one for a millisecond, and the B-back makes it all right. Whether he hits it inside that block or outside that block, you're fine. But the thing is, and the purpose of the video is to really focus on this. You want to run mid-triple to beat the blood stun, because if number one took the quarterback, you don't want to run mid-triple. You'd rather run dive. It's a better play. You'll get a triple team out of it. If number one takes the dive and two jumps the pitch, your quarterback's going to keep it anyway, so why don't you just run kick? Because you're going to get a triple team out of it. You're going to use his momentum against him and his momentum against him and run the ball in between. It's a more effective play for the quarterback. This gets effective when both of them are coming downhill and it's a boom-boom type of situation where he jumps back and points the ball. Let him take the B-back. Let him, as soon as he comes to the quarterback, he gets rid of it to the A-back coming around. And now you got yourself a natural toss sweep with the blocking on the perimeter and all that. So that's why you run mid-triple to beat the blood stun. You run kick if one's on the dive and two's on the pitch. And you run zone dive if one's on the quarterback. That's where the offense has evolved to in 2022. And like I said, can you run kick if one takes the quarterback? Of course. Can you run zone dive if one takes the dive? Of course. But if one takes the dive and two takes the pitch, kick's a better play because there's a bigger void. If one takes the quarterback, zone dive is a better play because there's a bigger void. Now I get the question, what if we run zone dive against that huge void and still can't get 4 yards? Well, guess what? You're probably losing the game because you are that bad. So at that point, better call Danger Mouse because you're triple teaming. Oh, let me bring it up. Because you're triple teaming and handing the ball off. You're going to end up with 2 or 3 people on the mic and you still can't get 4 yards. It's probably game probably over, guys. So if you put 3 on him and 3 on him, game's over. You can't get 4 yards on that, game's over. Coaches, you want to run Army, Navy, and Air Force's offense the right way the first time, give me a call. My number's on the thumbnail of this video. Later.